Johnny.
What are you doing here?
No need for the crowbar anymore, Denise.
Monsieur Rusty, where did you find that?
In the hidden compartment of your friendly neighborhood wine cellar. I hit the trip mechanism and voila, it opened like a charm.
But why would Monsieur Valette keep such a beautiful work of art hidden in the wine cellar?
Because it's very expensive and very stolen.
Êtes-vous sûr?
Positive. A friend of mine was doing newspaper articles on international art theft. I recognized this. And with masterpieces going for a $40 million price tag these days, like that Van Gogh did, you can be assured it's a lucrative business. You were right, Denise. Your boss was into smuggling, but not wine art.
Do you think this is why he was killed?
When there's this much money involved, I think you can bet on it. And if I found his counterparts in the United States, we may have our murderer. Telephone. Operator, I want the police.
Guiding light.
Chelsea, I hope I didn't frighten you.
Yeah, no. I'm just surprised to see you.
Ah, well, my security people called me to tell me that the police had been here today. And I know they've seen lights on at odd hours, so I thought I'd better come and check it out myself. But clearly it's just a misunderstanding if it's only you and Philip. I'll have to remind him to let security know when you're going to use the place, then this sort of thing won't happen.
Yes, the police were here, but they left.
Well, I hate to send them out on false alarms, although that does happen on occasion.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes the local teenagers like to break in here. Apparently, this has become a very popular make-out spot.
Oh, you know, I'm surprised that anyone would have the nerve just to break in someone else's house.
Well, we don't use it very often, and security is a little lax.
Really?
Yes, I suppose that's not very wise with the killer still on the loose. You know, it's amazing to me that the police haven't even found her.
Her?
Yeah, well, everything seems to point to Valaire's estranged Christine, isn't it?
Yes, it is Christine. Mm-hmm.
And to think she used to work at Cachet Gallery, and now my sister owns it. I will have to be more careful. I'm going to have to speak to Alexandra about that, too.
Mm-hmm, maybe you should.
Well, I've intruded on your vacation long enough. I'm not even going to bother to see Philip.
Well, you don't have to run off, Mr. Spaulding.
Well, I'm afraid I do. I've got a desk full of work back at the office. You be careful. Hey, what's going on?
Captain Dan.
How do you know my name?
I'm Roxy Shane. I was here with Johnny Bauer a few months ago, remember?
Right, the young pilot fella.
Yes. Have you seen him by chance?
Well, as a matter of fact, I have. You two having problems?
No, why?
Well, he was here a little while ago with the blonde lady.
Christine.
Oh, you know her.
All too well. Where did they go?
I don't know. He asked me if they could hang out here for a while. I told him it was okay with me. And then while we were talking, we heard the police car.
Police?
Oh, they've been checking the place out regularly for suspects from some kind of investigation. Anyway, when we saw the car lights, he and the girl bolted.
Do you know where they went?
No, they flew out of here without saying a word.
He didn't leave a note or anything?
Didn't take the time.
Figures.
Look, I don't know what's going on around here. I told you the last time I saw you that I was going out of town to visit my daughter for a few weeks, so I'm a little lost, but, well, I recognize one thing when I see it, and that's trouble. That young fella of yours is in a heap of it, isn't he?
I just need to find him.
Well, you're welcome to look around all you want. But you might be better off if you went home and waited for him to call you.
I will, thanks.
Look, if he comes back here...
I don't think that he will. I'm sorry I took up your time.
Well, miss, I don't know you and the young man very well, but you both strike me as the kind of people who can make it through anything.
I hope so, Captain Dan. I hope so.
An American service member awaiting trial in a foreign concerned about the protection of his rights.
In many areas overseas, the rights to a fair trial are guaranteed by written agreement between the U.S. and the host country. And in all countries overseas, the American chain of command will furnish legal counsel to any service member held by local authorities. If accused, the commander will see to it that you receive a local lawyer of your choice, and all legal fees and court costs will be taken care of, too. The military will also provide interpreters if needed, and a trial observer, usually a judge advocate. If accused of a crime in a foreign country, you will not be alone. If convicted, you will not be abandoned. The military has a commitment to ensure the rights of every American service member, a commitment as just and solid as the law.
Very busy tonight.
No, it's a good thing we're not. Sometimes it's short-handed. You haven't seen Roxy, have you?
Not tonight.
Yeah, I suspect she's out there chasing after Johnny Bauer. I swear I'd give anything for this whole thing to be over with.
He didn't kill Paul Valerhawk.
For Roxy's sake, I hope you're right. But that young fella's been acting pretty iffy ever since he got to this town. And you know how Rusty feels about it.
Yeah. Speaking of Rusty, have you heard from him? He must have some news in France by now.
I don't expect he'll be calling me. We did have one of our falling outs just before he's left. You remember that, don't you?
Yes. I can relate to it, too. Because I wrote him a note apologizing for our last explosion, but I thought he'd at least call me.
Yeah, well, you know that son of mine, he never was too good with people.
Well, so some of us just
Why is it that some women just can't seem to see the shortcomings in the men they like?
Sweetie, I just had the most wonderful idea.
Coming over here. You're right.
No.
I need it.
You're so silly. No, I was thinking about the dishwasher that's giving you all that trouble in the kitchen.
Not a problem anymore?
Oh, really? Why not?
Well, you know, Sarah used to work for the high school cafeteria back in Tulsa.
Yes?
Yeah, well, she got to be pretty good friends with this guy who sells industrial kitchen equipment.
Mm-hmm.
She gave him a call, and he's sending me a catalog by express mail. Said he can get me a new machine wholesale.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Who'd have thought Sarah'd be the solution to my problem, huh?
Yeah.
Hey. Tell me what it is you want to tell me, huh?
Oh, no.
Come on.
Nothing important. Talk. Nothing, really.
Oh, sit down.
You called?
Oh, Shed. I'm glad you could make it.
If when someone like you asks me to make an appearance, how can I say no?
Aren't you sweet?
Let's go someplace a little more upscale. Maybe the Blue Orchid or the country club. We can do some dancing, have a good time, and...
Well, I'm really not in the mood for that tonight.
What did you have in mind?
Well, let's have a seat and I'll tell you.
Monsieur Shane, I cannot thank you enough. This may turn out to be the biggest artery we have ever uncovered in France.
Well, thank you for allowing me to come in here. Well, nothing like a little international police cooperation.
You know, it's amazing. Every painting you found was on our hot list.
I'm not surprised, but didn't you have some links in this thing to Valère? It's pretty hard to mount an operation this big without leaving a few tracks.
Well, of course we had our suspicions, but we were unable to prove anything. I suspect Monsieur Valère greased the palms of more than a few local officials.
It's a kind of a universal problem.
Oui. Mademoiselle, you know nothing of the goings-on in this house?
No. Of course, I was suspicious, but I had no idea Monsieur Valère was involved in something this enormous, stealing such incredible pieces.
If you'll excuse me, mademoiselle, I find it extremely hard to believe that you knew nothing of the goings-on, considering the number of years that you were employed by Monsieur Valère.
But I feel such a fool, but it is true. I knew nothing.
Inspector, I think I can vouch for Denise. I don't think I would have found any of this if it hadn't been for her help.
Very well. Well, I will follow up on this side of the Atlantic and look for Monsieur Valère's accomplices, if any. Perhaps when you get back to the States, you could do the same.
You can bet on it. To fence this much stuff, he had to have some powerful connections.
At least a private airplane and a pilot. He would not be able to move this much stolen art through ordinary channels.
Inspector, I would appreciate it if you could get a list of the pilots that flew for Valère. You see, one of the prime suspects in our murder case back home is a pilot by the name of Johnny Bauer.
Ah, excellent. Well, I shall check the local airfield. Although I'm afraid the books will not be in perfect order. They probably are paid to keep them that way.
I guess it's worth a try, though.
May I give you a ride to town? Have you got a hotel?
Well, I didn't make any arrangements. I came straight here.
It's rather late to make accommodations at this state. The tourist season is just beginning.
Well, you could stay in the guest room here.
Well, are you sure?
Oui, I'm all alone here, and to be honest, I would be grateful for the company.
Well, could I get a ride back into town tomorrow?
Oui, the chauffeur is still on staff. We can take you.
Okay, you have yourself a house guest for tonight.
Very well, I shall see you in the morning.
I'll use the extra time to check around the villa here.
Let me know if you find anything.
Sure thing. Well, I'll continue to look around. You holler if you need me for anything.
Don't worry. I will.
Court number 6 at 9 a.m.
Don't you think we're going to stick our legs through our thumbs here?
No.
Why did you pick this place anyway? It's public.
Exactly. It's expensive. The cops don't think we have any money, so they'll never think to look here. So we'll just get a room, get in touch with Roxy until we figure out our next move.
Do we have to call her?
Just give me some cash. We'll have to pay in advance since we're not using any credit cards.
Here, is that enough?
It better be.
Excuse me. Don't I know you?
No, I don't think so.
But you must remember me. I'm Courtney Wade.
I really think you have me confused with somebody else.
No, I'm sure we've met before. Somewhere.
No, if we'd met, I'd remember it. Believe me, I'd never forget a face like yours.
Excuse me, darling. Is there something wrong?
No, it's just a case of mistaken identity.
Oh, I've heard that one before. I'm his wife. And you are?
I must be mistaken.
No problem. Maybe we'll see you around.
All right.
Quick thinking.
This is going to be a lot trickier than we thought. Who is that?
I said her name was Courtney Wade.
Do you know her?
No, I don't think so. She probably just recognized me from my picture in the papers, but couldn't place me.
Wait a minute. Now, we better not risk that desk clerk over there having a better memory. Look, let me check in. Just give me the money.
What? But be careful.
My middle name. Just try to blend into the woodwork, okay? Hello, excuse me.
Good evening, and welcome to the Great Escapes Hotel and Resort. May I help you?
Yes. My husband and I, we would like a one-bedroom suite, please.
Have you ever stayed with us before?
No.
I'm sure you'll be pleased. By the time you leave here, you'll feel like a new person.
I certainly hope.
Well, apparently, if there's any trouble, it's over. I mean, if someone was here, they didn't take anything, did they?
Well, I didn't notice anything missing when we got here.
Did you check the safe?
Yeah, it's empty. It's always empty.
Empty?
Yes.
Oh, my God, it's gone.
What's gone?
The reserve cash fund.
Are you sure it was in there?
Yes, I cashed the check and put it in myself.
Well, that's weird. I can't believe anybody on the staff would have taken it.
No, of course not, but it's gone.
Well, how much was it?
$10,000.
Oh, boy. Well, we better get the police back out here. Maybe whoever took it hasn't gone far.
No, that's all right. I mean, it was small bills. It'll be very easy for them to spend it.
Doesn't matter. It's still got to be reported.
Well, I'll do that from the office.
Dad?
Look, the police have been here already. You've been through enough interruptions today, so why don't you just relax, enjoy yourself for the little time you have here. I'll call the police and the insurance company when I get back to the office. Which reminds me, I've got a pile of work waiting for me, a major board meeting tomorrow morning.
You sure you don't want me to report this now?
Absolutely. You just concentrate on Chelsea and enjoy the evening.
Okay, fine. Whatever you say.
Although I am curious as to who may have stolen it. Well, good night. Enjoy yourselves.
You too.
We'll continue with part 2 of Guiding Light in a moment.
Good, fine. I'm a college student in Minnesota, but not too long ago, I was playing football at a Dodds high school in Germany. Oh, I spent a lot of time in Dodds schools overseas. Europe, Japan, Panama. When I was a kid, on my first trip back to the States, I thought you had a passport to go from New York to Connecticut. My address book reads like an atlas. It's one of the nice things about a Dodds experience. It's easy to make friends, anywhere. But more than that, I know I got a great education. Dodds seniors consistently earn higher scores on college entrance exams than stateside students. And more than half the college-bound Dodds seniors in a recent study said they plan to go on to graduate or professional schools. My Dodds teachers and counselors really prepared me for college. But I wasn't ready for this.
How's Chelsea doing in her new apartment?
I don't really know. I don't see much of her now that she's moved out and got her own life. I think she could call me once a day. It's not too much to ask.
Well, she's a young woman now. She wants to be independent.
Yeah, sure. You know, kids just need to try their wings, don't they? I remember this one knockdown, drag-out fight that Sarah and I had about Reva leaving home. I mean, the second that girl finished with high school, she wanted her own apartment.
Well, that sounds like Reva, doesn't it?
I was dead set against it. But Sarah, she was smart, as usual. She insisted that we encourage her. So, I mean, we helped her look through the real estate section of the paper, checked out all them apartments. And, of course, naturally, it wasn't long until Reva figured out on her own that she couldn't afford it. Yeah, I was always amazed how Sarah could read those children.
I remember how excruciating it was for me when Beth moved out.
Yep. Sarah said the same thing about Rusty when he left home.
Excuse me, I have to be going.
Something wrong?
Oh, it's just about Beth, huh?
I suddenly have a headache.
You take good care of yourself. Get some sleep, honey.
I'm kind of insensitive sometimes, I guess.
You're insensitive about a lot of things.
What?
Oh, for heaven's sake, the last thing that woman wants to hear about now or ever is your ex-wife. Honestly.
Why don't we finish up here and go back to my place?
I don't think so, Shad.
Come on. I got a new CD player and a subwoofer that'll knock your socks off. We could stop for some wine and cheese along the way, and who knows?
Shad, I think you have the wrong idea about tonight.
Come on, Mindy, we're old friends.
Friends. Underlined. This isn't a date.
It's not.
No. I'm involved with somebody else.
I'm not that hayseed you work with in Lewis Oil.
He's not a hayseed. And I didn't ask you here to talk about my love life. I asked you here to talk about business.
Business?
Yes. I've decided that I want to take on a lot more responsibility over at Lewis Oil, and I'm needing some background information. Since you have an MBA, I was hoping you might be able to help me.
You want me to tutor you on Lewis Oil?
Yes, you still have your books from school, don't you?
Well, yes, I knew they'd come in handy someday.
What I'm specifically interested in is the current tax credits and the oil depreciation and how it relates to the new tax laws and things like that.
Did you have any business courses when you were in college?
Yes, a few.
Well, it won't be easy unless you've had the core curriculum.
Well, don't worry about me. I'm a fast study who loves a challenge. And besides, I have a head for business, and I'm a Lewis.
Okay. Pick up whatever current information you need and books tomorrow. And if you have any questions, call me.
Thanks, Shad. I won't forget this.
Neither will I. Are you sure you're seeing this guy?
Rusty.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There you are, Monsieur Rusty. Or should I say, detective?
I'm sorry about not telling you who I was before. It's just that sometimes we work better as private citizens.
And did that work with me?
You've been real helpful, Denise. Thank you.
Did you finish checking out the rest of the villa?
Yeah, and the grounds, and didn't turn up anything more.
Good. Then it is time to relax. This is Monsieur Valaire's special cognac. He kept it under lock and key for special occasions.
To tell you the truth, I'm not much on cognac. Do you have any beer?
Of course. Sit here. I'll go get it. Here, let me do that.
Oh, thank you.
No. This will make you even better.
Well, it's all right.
I'll take away all your tension.
I think I believe it.
Earlier, you said you are a friend of Johnny Bowers. Now you say he is a suspect in the murder? You are an intriguing man, Monsieur Rusty Shane.
How long did you know Johnny?
I met him briefly.
When he was working for Valère?
Oui, in the old days.
But not recently.
Ah, no. There was bad blood between he and Monsieur Valère. Monsieur Valère and he were in a fight over Madame Christine, and Johnny cut Monsieur Valère very badly. After that, Monsieur Valère hated Johnny and swore to get revenge.
I wonder who got revenge on who. Oh, that feels so much better. Thank you, Denise.
There is something else that I did not tell you before.
What?
Sit down and I'll finish.
Okay.
About 15 minutes before the probate officials arrived to open the safe, a man who said he was a friend of Madame Christine's came. He also said Madame Christine had told him to clear out the safe.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
Well, I did not know if I could trust you before. Now I do.
He cleaned out the safe. Did you recognize him?
No. He did not give his name, and I had never seen him before.
What did he look like?
Very ordinaire, medium height, medium build, tall.
That includes about half the men in France, unfortunately.
No. He was American. Of that I am sure.
That makes the odds even worse. Would you recognize him again if you saw him?
I might.
I wonder what Christine wanted out of that safe badly enough to risk someone coming over here and getting it. Do you know what was in that safe?
No. Monsieur Valère would never let me in the room when it was open.
Must have been pretty important.
Haven't we talked about business enough for one day?
I'm sorry. You must be pretty tired.
No. Not at all. I've been so lonely here with nobody to talk to. I've been enjoying your company very much.
Good.
We have shared so many secrets. We have become friends, no?
Yes.
And friends can become so much more.
Denise, you are a beautiful woman, believe me. And if I had met you a couple months ago, But there's, to be truthful, someone back home.
But she is there, and I am here. That is the way we do in France.
Unfortunately, it's not the way we do it in Tulsa. I'm sorry.
This girl, she must be very special to you.
Yes, she is.
Then she is very lucky. Your room is at the top of the stairs and to the right. I hope you sleep well. Bonsoir.
Melinda Sue Lewis, what are you doing to me?
Earth to Chelsea. Come in, please.
I'm sorry, Philip.
What are you thinking about?
I was just thinking what you must have been like growing up. I wonder if we would have liked each other.
I doubt it. You were tomboy, right?
Yeah.
You're probably beating up on me all the time.
Why?
Because I was a classically overprotected child.
You?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, Philip. Now, whose swing is that down there by the creek?
Well, I guess technically it's mine, but I never used it. I had a few health problems when I was a kid, and I used to beg my dad till I was blue in the face to use that thing, but he never let me anywhere near it.
Maybe he was just trying to do what was best for you.
Chelsea, please stop sounding like him.
Well, you grew up unscathed, lucky for me, so we can go out tomorrow and make up for lost time.
That sounds good. Actually, I do feel like I missed out on a lot of my childhood.
Yeah?
Yeah. Never got to go camping.
Oh.
Got to play baseball.
Oh, you're right. We wouldn't have liked each other. You know, when I was 7, I broke both arms in a fight. You know, it's tough eating with both your arms in a sling.
I can just see you. Poor Bee. Who are you fighting with? Chelsea, where do you keep drifting off to?
I'm sorry, Philip. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just uneasy, that's all.
Well, I know it can't be the company.
No. Why do you think your dad came up here like this?
I don't know. He said something about security people calling him, didn't he?
Yeah, I know, but don't you think it's odd? I mean, couldn't security have checked on?
Chelsea, if I took the time to think about everything that my father does, I wouldn't have time to do anything else. Trust me, with my family, odd is commonplace.
Okay. Maybe I just need to go to bed.
Now you're talking.
Are you canceling the hit on the Spaulding kid again?
Yes.
Do you ever really plan on eliminating him? My trigger finger's getting itchy, if you know what I mean.
Your job is to stay and wait.
You're the boss.
Don't forget it. Philip Spaulding has to go, but I'll decide when the time is right.
Probably the most recognizable theme from the most successful program in television history, I Love Lucy. Its stars were a gorgeous redhead and a dashing band leader.
Chelsea?
Philip, I woke up and where have you been?
I've been out having a nice little confrontation with my father.
I thought he left.
Yeah, he was, but he came back because he wanted to be honest with me for a change.
Honest?
Yeah, he said that he's in league with you, that you two have been conspiring against me.
He told you that?
Yeah, he did. He said his conscience couldn't take it anymore.
Philip, I gotta explain to you.
Chelsea, I'm sorry, but I had to tell Philip the truth about you, about us.
No, there is nothing going on between us.
Don't lie more, Chelsea. Philip knows the truth. He knows you saw Roxy. He knows that you're keeping Johnny and Christina's secret.
I only did that to protect you, Philip.
Oh, you sound just like him. Well, that makes sense. You're cut from the same cloth. Don't you understand? I will never trust you again.
No.
And I will never forgive you either.
Don't say that.
And all this talk about an open, honest relationship, that was just a bunch of lies, wasn't
it?
Chelsea, I'm sorry, but you were right. Only the lies were hurting us. Now we have to start over again.
Oh, what, are you kidding? There's nothing to start over. Our relationship was a joke. You're worse than he is. I never want to see you again, Chelsea.
No!
Chelsea, are you all right? What's the matter? What? What are you doing in here?
I couldn't sleep. And I was tossing and turning so much I didn't want to wake you up.
God, I know why you can't sleep.
Why?
You've got too much on your mind. Come on. Come on back to... Come on. Forget all about your problems.
So when you woke up, Valera was already lying there.
Right, that's what I've told you.
Was he dead?
Well, I really don't know. I didn't look at his body.
Well, how long were you out?
I don't know. I didn't have a watch on. And to be honest with you, I don't even think I would have checked if I had a watch on.
Look, we've got to try and reconstruct what happened that night.
How can I reconstruct something I don't remember? Will you tell me that?
Oh, all right. Now just calm down. We're not going to help ourselves by yelling at each other.
You know what? It's being here in Springfield that's making me crazy. This was really a bad idea, Johnny. Why didn't we go to Florida? Why can't we go to California? We can go there right now. Just let me get out of here.
If we ran, it would only make things worse for us.
How can it get any worse?
We wouldn't have anybody to help us.
Oh, Roxy.
Look, she's helping save your neck. Christine, she's going to help us both out of this.
I wish I had your confidence.
You just got to keep reminding yourself that you didn't shoot a man in cold blood. Now, let's start from the top, okay?
Oh,
Just relax and try to remember what happened. You're the only person who can clear our names.
Oh, that helps a lot. Take the pressure off.
I'm sorry. You know how important this is.
Look, I know, and I realize that we are both up to our eyeballs in trouble. But I'm so exhausted, I can't think straight anymore. Come on, Johnny. Let's just you and I get a really good night's sleep. And in the morning, we'll continue with our little interrogation.
We'll take a break. But we're not going to leave this until morning.
We'll get room service. We'll get strawberries and champagne, and maybe even a little bit of chocolate.
You have to call Roxy.
No.
She's probably worried sick by now.
Look, I'm not going to call her house. Her line is probably bugged.
Well, you just disguise your voice.
What am I supposed to say?
I've got it all written down right here for you.
This is not going to work.
Make it work.
Cut the excuses in, right? I want you to find Johnny and Christine now. Well, I can't afford to have them wandering the streets like this. Because Philip could find out what's been going on, and I can't have that. Do you understand? All right, bring him to me as soon as you find them. Thanks.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you.
I'm just going over these audits.
Will you be long?
Unfortunately, yes. I have to finish all of this before the board meeting tomorrow morning.
Shall I go on to bed then?
Yes.
I shall see you in the morning. Don't work too hard.
Well, this isn't Rome, and I'm not Nero. But what the hell?
Look, I'm getting her machine. She's probably not home. I'm just going to hang up.
No. You leave the message anyway.
No way. I'm not going to leave my voice on a tape.
Disguise it.
Hello, Miss Shane. This is Molly at the Great Escapes gift shop. The item you've ordered has come in, and you can pick it up anytime you like. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Now let's start over again. You tell me why Alan Spaulding was so protective of you if you barely knew.
No more. I'm not going to take any more of this.
Now, Christine, you've got to...
In the morning, I'm going to sleep right now, and in the morning we will continue.
Damn it!
Nobody got a home to go to?
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I can only handle one crisis at a time.
So Johnny didn't leave you any kind of a clue at the lighthouse?
If he did, he hid it so well I couldn't find it.
Is there anything I can do?
I don't know. Find Johnny and Christine for the police do?
John knows Rusty's going to be back from France any minute now, and he's going to be after them with a vengeance.
Rusty does seem to be pretty preoccupied with this case.
I got to get out of here.
Where are you going?
See if I can find Johnny.
Don't you think you ought to sleep? You've been at this all day.
I can't. I'm too worried right now. I'll see you later.
Roxy!
Take care of yourself. Thanks.
Good night, Rock.
Ain't nothing good about it.
That's an understatement.
This has been Guiding Light.